You are now watching The Meech.
As I'm sure most of you are aware, Nintendo had their Nintendo Direct, which Pioro was right! He was right about it! And it was a Nintendo Direct, alright, but it was a partner showcase. See, the thing with Nintendo Direct partner showcases is that most of the time, they are nothing worth getting excited for. In fact, I have a problem with the format in general. When these things were announced and were pretty much made, it was back in 2020. We were starved for Nintendo news, and it was a horrible year, so any amount of joy would have gone a long way, and that could include new game announcements or just updates on already existing games. But instead, they were just showcases like, hey, we heard you want a Nintendo Direct, but I bet you want WWE and Bakugan even more. Ugh, it was not a good time. The timing couldn't have been worse. And the thing is, a lot of these partner showcases lack any substance whatsoever. So needless to say, I did not get up earlier than usual to watch this. With Nintendo Directs, yeah, always be up early for Mr. Mario, because remember, I only like Mario. A guy on Twitter said, me when I only like Mario, so of course that's true. But at the same time, it's just like, a Nintendo Direct, people get excited for that for the first party announcements, and a partner showcase will not have those. It's essentially like going to McDonald's, but the only item on the menu are the ice cream cones. Sure, you can get some enjoyment, but a lot of the time, they'll be broken. But this Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase in particular was quite surprising for a few reasons. So getting into it, I watched it after it aired, so I did know about some of the announcements, and Pioro did hint at quite a few of them. So let's get into some of the highlights. The first highlight is the amount of variety. A lot of these partner showcases, heck, even Nintendo Directs, will have next to no variety. I'm sure you all remember the Farm Direct, and what's funny is we did get one farming simulator. It was a Story of Seasons game, and every time I see one in a Direct, all I think of is farm. But no, it wasn't all JRPGs, it wasn't all farming sims. You had a bit of everything. You had platformers, 3D platformers. Yes, you did have the JRPGs and farming sims. You even had some simulators, and whatever the heck that last game's genre was. So looking at the list of games, there were quite a few of them that were quite exciting, and I'm actually interested in playing. And the first game that comes to mind is One Crab's Treasure. This seems to be a sort of 3D action game where you play as a crab underwater with a diverse moveset. It seems really cool. Of course, with the way my insane mind works, the first thing that came to mind was, one man's trash is another man's treasure, but to Mr. Krabs, all trash is treasure. And I thought of that. I always think of Mr. Krabs, but needless to say, I'm interested in playing the game. It looks pretty cool, it has a unique concept, and I'm always down for more 3D action or 3D platformers. This was also a good partner showcase, or just Direct in general, if you were a fan of the Wii era. And this game was announced before, but World of Goo 2 is a Switch exclusive, and if you don't remember, World of Goo was a WiiWare game, and is widely considered to be one of the best WiiWare games ever made. I didn't play the original, but I'm definitely interested in playing the sequel. I do wonder how responsive it'll be, because the original World of Goo, it used the Wii Remote Plus, or probably could use the original Wii Remote, I need to clarify that. But the thing with the gyro on the Joy-Cons is it's not always as responsive. Some games do fairly well with it, but others tend to struggle with pointer controls. So we'll just have to wait and see, but it does look promising. This is a game I'm sure many of you are excited for, because if you're a Nintendo fan, or if you're a Donkey Kong fan, being a fan of another series that focuses on primates pretty much goes hand in hand. And no, I'm not talking about Travis the Chimp. By the way, funny story, I was at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and I saw the gorilla enclosure and was thinking, wow, these gorillas really look docile. I wonder if you could keep one as a pet. And I was telling T&D that story, and then he responds with, what are you? The man in the freaking yellow hat? I don't know why, but I nearly died laughing because of that. But, short story, Primates do not make good pets. Don't even try it. It's not a good idea. You know what is a good idea? Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. We got 2 remakes on the Switch, one being Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, and the other being Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD. That one apparently wasn't very good, hence why the 2-pack that also includes Sonic Forces is known as the Trash Pack. But this is a full-on new Super Monkey Ball game, with a really cool online multiplayer mode, and from what we're seeing so far, it looks quite good. The thing is, with Sega games, they're pretty good when it comes to a lot of their games. We got the new Samba de Amigo game, which was pretty good. We're getting a new Super Monkey Ball. It's funny because they really only seem to falter when it comes to Sonic games, like with Sonic Superstars. But it is Sega, so I'm cautiously optimistic. I hate having to use that term, but it doesn't make me cringe as much as saying faithful remake. But the good news is, if you do like remakes, this one's also quite exciting for fans of the Wii era. Epic Mickey Rebrushed. This looks really cool. I didn't play the original Epic Mickey on the Wii, but everything's seen. The game looks so much fun. It looks great too. And I'm definitely gonna check this one out the day it releases. Yeah, I might not be that huge of a Disney fan, but the concept, the mechanics, everything about the game just looks really cool. And that's why I'm interested in playing it. Like I said, always down for more 3D platformers, and this game seems right up my alley. Another 3D platformer that releases today is Penny's Big Breakaway, which is a game developed by the Sonic Mania team, which appears to be a spiritual successor to 3D Sonic games. Knowing the Sonic Mania team, they do wonders, and even though it doesn't have Sonic characters, I already have a good idea that this is going to be better than something Sega would release. Yeah, Sonic Frontiers got great reception, but at the same time, I do feel like for Sonic games going forward, they really should have had the Mania team, especially for Sonic Superstars. But even on its own, it looks like a pretty fun time. I do have to wonder how well optimized it would be for the Switch, considering that we need new hardware, and the Switch is so outdated. We need the Switch 2 tomorrow. But at the same time, I feel like this kind of game could run fine. This game was announced before, but also was showcased in the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, and it's another one I'm very excited for, being South Park Snow Day. I'm a huge fan of the series, and The Fractured But Whole and Stick of Truth are great games. They perfectly capture the series, and I'm hoping the same for Snow Day. They're going for a different art style this time around, where it's fully 3D. Very excited for this game. We already knew it was coming, but it's great to see regardless. So far, this Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase is surprisingly good. I will say it's not as great as the June 2022 one, but either way, it's pretty solid. However, it wouldn't be a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase without at least one announcement that's either way tone deaf or just absolutely ridiculous to include. And unfortunately, there are 2 of them here. One we didn't get in the International Partner Showcase, but the other we did. So I'll start off with that one. I am so glad I didn't watch this live, because the way they presented this announcement made it seem like we would be getting Rareware games on Nintendo Switch Online or Nintendo Switch. But instead of Banjo-Tooie, Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong 64, or my personal favorite Conker's Bad Fur Day, they choose some of the most obscure Rareware games, and sure, they're good in their own right, but when you see that logo, you are thinking of the heavy hitters, and I can't imagine how many people were disappointed watching it live. I do understand to an extent why Conker's Bad Fur Day wouldn't be on Switch Online, but you know what, at that rate, why not just re-release Conker Live and Reloaded, maybe make it just completely uncut, and have that on the Switch and other platforms as well. That would be incredible. But no, nobody wants a Conker game that just has silly poop bosses, nobody wants Banjo-Tooie, nobody wants Diddy Kong Racing. You know why? Because RC Pro Am, that's what people want. Oh my gosh, talk about tone deaf. But I think the last announcement was so tone deaf that they didn't even include it in the international one. I can see why, because it's not a game we're getting. But Mother 3 is coming to Switch Online in Japan. It does make sense, the game hasn't been localized, so I feel like this one pretty much just says itself. At this point, I'm not sure whether or not they're gonna remake or localize Mother 3. Never say never, but this is a better time to just rant about the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance selection on Switch Online. A year later, it's absolutely pathetic. There's barely anything there. We don't even have the original Super Mario Land. Most of the Wario Land games are missing. Donkey Kong 94, there is pretty much nothing here. And that is the main problem I have with the selection. Yeah, it's disappointing Mother 3 isn't localized, but just the selection of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games is truly pathetic. There are a selection of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games that are the color of food coloring that I'll touch on towards the end of this video, and these have been highly requested and highly anticipated to be on the Nintendo Switch. But so far, what we've got is paltry, and that's the main problem I have with it. With these two announcements, I understand Mother 3, it hasn't been localized, but with the Rareware games, how did they not understand what they were doing with that announcement? But the final announcement for the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase was one Pyoro hinted at, and that is an Endless Ocean game. And what's cool is that it's not a remake, but a brand new game called Endless Ocean Luminous. Looking at the game, I'm still kind of confused what kind of game it is. This series seems extremely niche. It's for a very, very, very specific audience. But with that being said, I am very intrigued. From what I can gather, it's pretty much a scuba diving simulation game where you're exploring the depths of the sea. It looks really cool. If it's going to be a $60 game, I might check it out when it's on sale because I'm not that confident that it'll be a game I'm interested in. But so far, it does look intriguing. And just the fact that Endless Ocean is coming back, that is very exciting. One thing I've loved about the Nintendo Switch era is that they're not afraid to bring back series that have been dormant for years. We saw it with 2D Metroid with Metroid Dread, Advance Wars, even F-Zero to an extent with F-Zero 99. So Nintendo, if you're listening, can we get Game & Watch Gallery 5 next? Have it have all the Game & Watch games remade and with the classic versions, and even for the licensed stuff, just replace the characters with Mario and Luigi. I would love you forever, Nintendo. Overall, the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase for February 2024 was better than I expected. I'm seeing a lot of people just saying it was mid. I can understand that, but considering the terms of it being a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, I would say it's pretty good. If I had to rate it, I would give it a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. But regardless, I can guarantee you it's probably going to be better than the next Nintendo Direct, which is a Pokemon Presents. A Pokemon Presents is the only style of Nintendo Direct where you actively go in hoping for no new game announcements. Please just put Pokemon, Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance games on Switch Online. Just do that. That's all you gotta do. I don't want to see any remakes. I don't want to see a new generation. Spin-offs I'd be okay with, but until things get better, Pal World is king. So anyways guys, what did you think of the Partner Showcase? Let me know in the comments, and as always, keep calm and da-da on.